We spend our lives sprinting on a treadmill we can never quite shut off. We chase wealth, we climb ladders for power, and we build thick walls to protect our personal boundaries, hoping that if we just get the mix right, we will finally be happy. 2,000 years ago, a teacher sat on a hillside and offered a different framework. At the core of that teaching, the Sermon on the Mount, is a specific Greek word, Makarioi. In its original context, this word describes a state of flourishing. It is a description of the highest possible human condition. The text assigns this flourishing state to the groups we usually overlook. It says the people who find this joy are the poor in spirit, the ones who are mourning, and those who are being persecuted. Building a formula for happiness on external circumstances, like a bank account or public opinion, makes that joy inherently fragile. If the circumstances change, the happiness vanishes. The 2,000-year-old secret suggests that finding unfailing joy means looking in places where we usually expect to find failure. The text dismantles our approach using a rhetorical structure. It repeats a pattern. You have heard, but I tell you. Take the law against murder. The rule says you shouldn't kill, but avoiding physical violence is the bare minimum standard. The teaching pushes the boundary inward. Harboring silent anger or contempt locks us in a prison of our own making. The cure is proactive reconciliation. You settle the matter face to face before external systems like courts ever get involved. The text then applies this same inward shift to adultery. It moves the boundary of the offense from a physical transgression to the internal gaze of the observer. Looking at another person purely with lust reduces them to an object. It strips away their humanity for gratification, and in the process degrades the observer's character. Successfully managing external actions without treating the internal disease of contempt or lust breeds an exhausting and bitter existence. In the ancient Near East, people often swore complex oaths by heaven or by the earth to prove they were telling the truth. The text exposes these elaborate vows as deceptive loopholes. People used them to limit personal liability and create wiggle room, rather than guarantee honesty. The counter-instruction is simple. Calibrate your speech and your character so that a simple yes or no carries unquestionable weight. Relying on technicalities to prove you are right creates a legalistic trap. You become obsessed with the rules while losing your integrity. Self-policing your own integrity offers a deep mental freedom that exploiting the technical rules can truly never match. For centuries, the standard for societal fairness was simple and symmetrical: an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The teaching dismantles this symmetry. Instead of equal retaliation, the text demands an escalation of empathy, choosing not to resist an evil person, turning the other cheek to a slap, and voluntarily walking a soldier's pack an extra mile. Then comes the zenith of this ancient instruction, the command to actively love your enemies and pray for the people who are persecuting you. This difficult standard is an escape hatch. It provides an exit from the exhausting zero-sum cycle of retaliation. When you choose to love an opponent, you step outside of their game. You refuse to react on their terms, neutralizing their power over your emotional state. The text compares this liberated state to the weather. The sky doesn't discriminate. It showers rain and shines sunlight on the righteous and the unrighteous equally. That same non-discriminating grace is what turns ordinary people into what the text calls the salt of the earth and the light of the world. When you stop tying your happiness to revenge or maintaining technical righteousness, you become untouchable. You radiate a bulletproof joy no external